Sitting in class, watching those who are the complexion of the opposite leave, as they again relieve themselves from being in class full of those who are the complexion of me. It wasn't hard to see that the inequality symbols that I was learning in math of less than and greater than not only applied to numbers, they applied to colors. Shades of brown, invisibly crowned with dunce, became fitted to heads that seemed to learn at exponentially slower rates than others. Though we were an integrated school, the gifted segregated themselves through the white flight of Jim Crow's wings, enacting their civil rights of separate but equal PLCs that excluded NAACPs because this was the norm. Until one young white lady who taught Algebra 1 in 8th grade gave two black boys a math test that went against the pedagogy of low expectations. She saw in us the same desire to learn. It was just wrapped in brown skin that identified as black. She chose to see color because she recognized that everyone that was in her advanced math classes were white. She chose to rescue us from a curriculum that handed out 6 degrees of separation: Southern, poor, black, male, non-gifted, therefore unlikely. She changed Chester, my best friend, and my life. It wasn't as if I didn't believe I could do it. She believed I could. Her expectations of me tore down walls built by bricks of shame, inequity, and what's wrong with me? Her expectations of me exposed me to a land of possibilities found only in books where fairy tales exist, and those that were asleep there were awakened by a kiss. She became the Peter Pan to 2 lost boys, giving us access to Neverland. In this land where I had never been, all those that were here were expected to succeed. They were expected in high school to take honors and AP courses that I knew nothing about. One of the proudest moments of my life was walking down my high school hallway during freshman orientation with my mom, when a welcoming tone of normalcy reached out to me like a slick arm stretch at the movies and said, "Hi, I'm your freshman English 9 teacher." In one split second, the eloquence of Malcolm, the bravery of Rosa, the championing of Du Bois courageously spoke, "No, I have honors." After being on this earth for 14 years, it was in that English honors class that I first learned about the Holocaust through our summer book reading Night by Elie Wiesel. All I had ever known about was the enslavement of Africans, but had no clue that darkness had descended upon a face of people whose skin complexion was the very opposite of the book's name. This blew my mind as the winds of equity began to thrust me into competitive GPAs of those of my white peers, because honors and AP courses gave you a half to a whole grade point. Could this be the reason why brown faces perform so poorly? Because the bandwidth carrying our information was on dial-up speed, while fibers of interconnected networks sped up the advancement of those privy to a system that supported them and not those that looked like me? I was in class asking Ashley Woolard for homemade deer jerky because it was hunting season. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but black people, we don't hunt. Diversity. I began to walk the trail of tears paved by my ancestors, just to be draped in cords that used to shackle them, but now loosed me to pursue the dreams of a king. In 8th grade, I fell in love with math. And 20 years later, I find myself teaching in the same grade and subject where one teacher's expectations of me changed the course of my life. Thank you Mrs. Simmons.